student loan debt is a highly discussed topic in the U.S. and around the world. While many countries are dealing with this issue, the total amount of debt in the U.S. is unmatched. The amount for the U.S. is $1.3 trillion. What's responsible for this? The cost of higher education in the U.S. is rapidly increasing. From 1978 to 2012, the cost of tuition rose 1,120%. How are students possibly paying for this? The short answer is loans. In the U.S. today, students can take out private loans or loans with the government, and about 70% of college students do graduate owing some amount of money. In the U.S., students can take subsidized or unsubsidized loans. But what does this mean? Let's break it down. Subsidized loans allow for fixed interest rates, and the government will pay the interest while you're in school. The catch is that you must have a family income below $50,000. If you don't have a family income below $50,000, you can apply for an unsubsidized loan, which means you are responsible for paying the interest, although it will be at a fixed rate, and all students are eligible regardless of your family income. However, when you reach the cap amount of federal student loans, you can get a private loan. Unfortunately, the interest would be higher, and it could be varied rather than fixed. The problem is that in the end, on average, it costs a student $33,000 in loans by the time they graduate, and then takes about 21 years on average to pay back. Oftentimes, students are defaulting on their loans because their incomes aren't high enough post-graduation to make sufficient payments. And if they're not defaulting, they could be watching a significant portion of their income being eaten up by loan payments. This can have real-life, long-term consequences. A study by the nonprofit We Are Hope Incorporated found that 20% of their respondents expressed student loan debt barring them from access to loans for other life purchases, or being unable to buy a home, or saw negative effects on their credit score. What happens when you compare this to other countries? There are some countries that have free or nearly free tuition, countries like Norway, Finland, Sweden, or Germany. But this comes with its own set of challenges. There's a difference in cultural expectations, and students in some of these countries are expected to be fiscally independent and therefore are taking loans to cover the cost of living that many students may receive from their parents. So while the tuition might be free, there are other expenses that they have to pay. While a U.S. national policy implementing free public tuition may be a bit out of reach, we can look to countries like Australia and England in terms of increasing our ease of access to income-based loan repayment programs. What an income-based loan repayment program means is that you pay back your loans once you reach a certain income threshold. This offers insurance for students. Your circumstances reflect your payment contribution. And it's not out of reach. Repayments could be collected through tax system, much like Social Security is collected today. So as your income increases, so does your contribution. While the U.S. is a leader in quality higher education, they still can look to their global competitors on how to implement better loan forgiveness programs that enable their future labor force to be successful contributing members in the economy and society as a whole.